Alright, so, hey, we're presenting events a little bit out of order. So let's see. I had some technical difficulties in episode 6. I had to stop the stream early and then cut, like, 27 minutes of footage that was just ruined by dropped frames. So, did I say episode 7? Episode 6. In episode 6, I had to cut some stuff, right? So, episode 7 is this episode here. But what you're seeing right now is something where we're actually backtracking. And this is technically happening right after episode 8. I've also changed my mic settings. I realized I had bad mic settings. I just took off all the filters. So that now you can hear everything I say clearly, but at the cost of you might hear some background noise and stuff here and there. You might hear me, like, breathe and stuff occasionally. It's so hard to get the filters right. It's nearly impossible. Alright, so, basically, at the start of episode 8... Was it the start of episode 8 or the end of episode 8? I guess at the end of episode 8, we're doing this backtrack. We looked at, So, consider this little segment a continuation of episode 8. But basically, we went to the stars room, and I'm going to do this again real quick. We went to the stars room, and we opened this briefcase right here. So you'll see that at, like, the beginning of episode 8. So, what we're going to do here in episode 7, end of episode 8. What we're going to do here in episode 7, that's also part of the end of episode 8, technically, because it's part of a backtrack, is we are going to find a hidden item. We're going to open this locked locker right here. It's difficult to figure out, but I did figure out how to do it. And so we're going to show that here. Because we're trying to make sure that this is just a very comprehensive playthrough. So, right. Let me review my notes real quick. Oh yeah, since this isn't live, I can pause while I review. Alright, so what we need to do, we need to go to the operations room. And this is like... We learned this through the photos that Barry left, the photo hints. And this really shows you exactly where the key is. Jesus! An actual, real enemy that I hadn't killed yet, or maybe it respawned? Either way. There's the locked locker. Here's the operations room. Huh? Did I just kick some? What's making all that funny noise? That was weird. Pretty zany sound effects for this game. I also hear a raccoon. Where is he? And what is the Mr. Raccoon also making that weird sound? Alright, so there's that TV. So you climb up on that box, grab the locker key. Joe! God, I need more of the Steel Ball Run anime to come out, guys. It's bad. We need more of that awesome shit. Alright, give me a second. Can I reach this with my hatchet? No, I actually have to shoot. Alright, so yeah, that's where the Mr. Raccoon was. He's kind of hidden by the boards. Which you can then shoot through. Alright, so yeah, that was the operation room. Now we go back to the West office. Enjoy, and don't say I never gave you anything, Barry. Tickets to the zoo, that's awesome. Yikes, I hate to think about what might have happened to the zoo animals, damn. They might have got infected by the T-virus. They might be running around the city somewhere right now. Alright, so that's good for the machine guns. Of course, I'm not going to test fire because ammo is somewhat scarce. We'll see when we get to an enemy. Alright, so with that, I've swept the station completely. Now we're going to move on to another Mr. Raccoon that I missed previously. Apparently there's an alley I can get into. Yes, I never noticed before, but yeah, there's an alley right here that I missed the first time coming through here. And would you look at that? That is quite a bit of sway. Also some much appreciated ammo. Alright, so that's all the backtracking that we need to do. So I cut the previous episode right as I was starting to get on the trains that sort of form a bridge, the broken down trains. So I'm going to pause the stream, and I'm going to then replay until I get to that point. There is one more little thing I learned about here, and this is part of the final puzzle, apparently. And I don't know how much point there is to doing the final puzzle, but I plan to do it. Part of doing the final puzzle is actually involving this head here. So yeah, you can do that. You can kick the head through the hoop. That says there's no time for playing around. Since I didn't previously get a good clear recording without frame drops, here's the section where I enter the orphanage.
Made it. I'm at the orphanage, Sherry. There's not much left of it. Heading underground to look for Grace.
Understood.
You know what? I might as well just... Since there were frame drops here, I might as well just show... Anybody who wants to can just skip ahead to where it was before. Lucky me, I don't have to fight the boss again. And then we can also just see these scenes with different angles, different shots. Was there something there? Right, so anyway. Tense scene. Man, that's kind of scary. And then...
Seriously. my stop?
And now I get to undo parts where I wasted some materials, which is also really good. Now I'm forced to craft. Now I think it's part of the deleted footage that I had noted that to get a certain achievement within this game, I need to do all the crafting recipes, which includes both forms of making a mixed herb. So I actually need to still collect 3 herbs and combine them all at once into a green herb. Now that I know that, it'll be easier to do.
BSAA left something behind. It just keeps going. Finally reached the bottom. This is one very deep hole.
The perfect place to hide something.
And then there's actually a hard to spot little item where you kind of want to go to first person for it. What the hell? Oh freaking crap, dude. Come get some bitches. But anyway, I think it was right here. Am I wrong? A little farther ahead, I guess. Yeah, but there's a little scrap there. Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, I forgot about that. But yeah, med injector, ammo. And then we kind of re-equip the Requiem real quick. And then add that bullet. I've not noticed that before. Oh shit. What the hell? Cheap shot. And as I originally noted, there is a pronounced lack of scrap compared to the amount of gunpowder you get. Alright, we continue.
This file's really evident for me.
Med injector. Alright, let's go ahead and do it. Craft triple herb. That should have unlocked the achievement, probably. Yes, it did. It sure did. You'll see what arc is in a minute. I might 100% this game, bros. This is super good game. I really like it. I could play it for a long time. Oh, there was another one. Kind of just strafe those attacks. Probably could have parried that, I guess.
Stubborn lead, aren't you? Time to burn you.
Oops, I cut off the dialogue. My apologies. Such ridiculous plot convenience, though, is it not? That just a canister happens to be over there containing a bunch of explosive material. Very lucky coincidence. Very, very lucky. Did I seriously miss a green herb? Can I not go back? Oh, God. Well, that's what I get for replaying it too fast, I guess.
This must be it. Sherry, I found some kind of massive facility.
What do you think it is?
I'm seeing supplies with the logos of the usual suspects.
Well, whatever it is, clearly wasn't meant to be found.
Yeah. You're telling me.
Yep, and then this is where I leave off, and this is where we go into the next episode. So there you go, a short, concise little episode between episodes. Complete. So go watch the next one after you watch this one.